Hello there, my mate Vince here, and in this episode we're going to be looking at this automatic soap dispenser. But the first thing I have to do is clean it because it's absolutely filthy. It looks like soap has been dispensed over the whole thing and it's gone all sticky. Interestingly though, it's rechargeable, and interestingly it's USB-C. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to see a micro USB. So I'm going to clean it up and then we'll bring it over to the mat. Apparently it's faulty. Let's see what it isn't doing. Right, that's much better now. It wasn't actually dirty as in like finger grease or anything. It was just purely soap everywhere. Right, okay, so nothing's happening when I do this here. Let me just have a quick look at the instructions just to make sure I understand how it works. So you touch area here, and I presume this is the sensor area underneath. We have a sensor here, and it looks like a sensor just here as well. Oh, different gears. Oh, maybe you can do the different amounts that come out. That's clever. Dispensing time, 0.3, 0.8, 1.5 and 2 seconds. So clearly that will change the amount. 2 seconds is going to put much more soap through than 0.3. Cleaning mode, turn on the machine on and triple click the power button to start cleaning mode. Right, okay. Turn on, press touch area, LED will be lighted for 2 seconds. Turn off, press it for 2 seconds. Okay. I think, let's see what it's drawing. It's nice that it's USB-C, I wasn't expecting that. Double check that is dry in there. Yep. .03 off an amp. 0.04. Oh, now it's gone off. It is drawing though. Could this be one of those ones that have just been not touched for a year or something, and then they go to use it and it's dead? I think let's try to take it apart if we can. I think there's going to be an 18650 battery in here, which is completely depleted because it's one of those things that hasn't been used in a while. I mean, it's not drawing at anything high. I could be wrong. But let's take it apart. And see, I've just got some warm water in there at the moment with some, I haven't got any detergent in there, but I've got the bottle was already kind of all sticky and stuff, so it's using soap that was already there. Now I presume underneath these rubber caps there's going to be screws, is what I'm thinking. Unless underneath here there might be screws. Let's try to prise these out to begin with. Yes, we have. Fantastic. They look a little bit rusty. I'm looking forward to seeing the inside of this. So we're looking at, there's going to be a motor and there's obviously some sort of sensor as well. Right, now will this prise off? Or maybe you twist? No, it's coming. There we go. Right, so that comes off that tube there. You can see the rust around the screws here. Thing is, unless it was overfilled, why would it go up that high? There's no reason for it to go up that high. It should be just sucking up through here. That is... No, so hold on. This whole thing here is just to provide a seal to the bottle down below because it screws into here. You can see it's got ears on it. So that screws in there. So So basically this isn't actually doing anything apart from seeing it to there. So there must be hidden screws up the top somewhere. Yeah, that's all it is, and that goes onto there. At least the rust is gone. So I'm thinking, one second, what's in here? This is to hang it to a wall, but that's not going to make it come apart. I'm thinking that I'm going to have to, annoyingly, take this off. There must be hidden screws under here, because can you see the lid goes all the way around here? What a shame. Now, normally you would just leave this plugged in for ages to see if it suddenly starts charging, because there might not be anything wrong. It's just I would like to see what's on the inside, and I'm sure other people would as well. So I'm just going to gently heat this. What? There's nothing there. There's nothing there. Okay. Annoyingly, does that mean it's plastic welded? Oh no, they've glued it, I think. Oh, what a nightmare. Why? It's plastic welded. Oh, what do I do now? Because my wife actually said she'd like this. I mean, I could just leave it plugged in. It's just I really wanted to see the inside of it. There's definitely no seal around here. That's the only thing I can see. So I'm going to have to get a hammer and crack it. I suppose they had to do this to make it more waterproof. Well, right, okay, that broke it there. Whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen. It's because the plastic has gone soft from heating it that it just went straight through. But this thing is glued amazingly well. Other things, you can they crack. This plastic seems a bit softer. However they've welded this together, I don't think anybody's getting into this with ease. Some people recommend to use petrol to get into stuff like this, but I don't want to mess around with the vapors and stuff. You know, it's just I don't want that smell in my house. I haven't got an office somewhere, warehouse where I work from. This is my house, and the smell of petrol fumes inside is not only dangerous, but it would absolutely stink. obviously now it looks like I'll be buying one of these for my wife for Christmas, because
to get into it.
this is going to be a right mess by the time I finish with it. But the thing is, about 25,000 people will watch this video. So it's not just me. Out of that 25,000, there must be at least 50% of you that want to see the inside. Yes, I'm going to get hate because some people are going to be like, you ruined this when maybe all you had to do was plug it in. You're right, I have ruined it. But the thing is, I want to see what battery is inside. I want to measure the battery to see if it is actually flat. Maybe what it's drawing now is because of a shorted capacitor or something. Maybe the battery does have 4 volts in it. I also want to see what it's like on the inside, because that's how we all learn. So yeah, it is what it is.
I might be able to melt it shut at the end anyway. I'm wondering now, if all the melting, if it would have been better to get my Dremel tool and just cut round the lid. Wow, what a nightmare.
Well, that lid has well and truly had it, which is a shame. But rather than saying negative things down in the comment section, actually say how you would do this. Now, I know what it's like getting into, for example, a laptop power supply. That's more brittle, meaning that if you were to hit it with a hammer, it would crack. This plastic, I don't know what it is, but it's not as brittle. It bends more. Even when you put your nail into it, it doesn't feel the same as other plastics that you would have, for example, to power your laptop, because I also had trouble getting into one of them ages ago. How would you get into something like this? You've seen the force I was putting into that. There's no way any pry tool is going to get into that. Some people would say you should have used plastic. Metal didn't get into it. Plastic isn't going to work. So how do you get into this? For example, would petrol work? I wouldn't like messing with petrol, and I know something like petrol. I bet you that would just cause havoc with my skin. IPA already messes up my hands for weeks on end. Yes, I could use gloves, but I don't know, would petrol eat through gloves as well? I don't know, I've never messed with petrol and I don't intend to start messing with it. But would petrol be able to break the weld on here? How would you do it? So yeah, share your knowledge, because it will help me and it will help other people as well. Thank you.
Okay, well there's our battery. There's our motor. And this is a little sense thing here that senses your finger. I think the odds of me getting the lid on and making it look any bit presentable again are going to be highly slim. But you never know. If I put it in boiling water or something, or heat it up while it's back on here, I might be able to get it back into shape. You're not clipped in again, are you? Yeah, here we go. Right, okay. So this is a sensor here. I can see two lamps, like an LED and maybe some IR or something. I'm not too sure. Not sure how that works. Ah, so this doesn't do anything. Look at that. That doesn't do anything. This is the sensor here. That, there's nothing there. Well, isn't that interesting? That must have been for another model and they just used the casing. Right, well, we've got the motor. So shall we see if the motor works? Let's take this one out. Even this feels slightly wet. That feels sticky. This is sticky as well. Okay. And the battery. Let's take the battery out if I can, or is it glued in? It's in with sticky tape. Not an 18650 though, it's one of those smaller ones that were in the Philips shaver. My word. I'm going to have to use some IPA down there or something. Let's see if the motor works when we put a bit of voltage into it. So I'm going to get my bench power supply and I'm going to set it just to 2 volts. And let's see if the motor is doing anything. I think we'll find the battery is going to be just flat. So we know the motor itself is working. I won't bother going the other way. We know now it's just going to be a flat battery. So let's plug this back in here. And take out the battery. And let's see what we got in this. We must have a tiny bit because the voltmeter was picking up something. So I'm going to say we've probably got 0.5 of a volt. Not too far off. 0.36. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to plug this back in and let's see if it's growing when we plug in our USB at the back here. So plug this in here like so. Right, is it growing? And why are you all over the place? That's a lot higher. That's climbing rapidly. Yeah, so it is accepting the charge, and now if we were to unplug this, you see it's dropping back down. Yeah, so it's just one of those items that has been left. It's just a problem with lithium batteries, isn't it? And it clearly is a massive problem. I don't know what video I said it in, but I think this is the future of repair. Just basically items that have just been left where the lithium batteries have gone flat. Easy one for fix-it people, but boring. You know what, that's not going to take too long. So I'm not going to change that cell out because reading all my other comments, what people said was, yeah, some people did say once it goes below the safe level, which might be like 2.3 volts or something, or 3 volts, then you shouldn't use them again. But what a lot of people said is, because what I'm saying is that most people will not know that this is that low. They'll plug it in the morning, go away to work, come back, it's going to probably be fully charged. So if when it's fully charged, it's not keeping the charge, because what can happen is if it's like too low for too long, then the inside chemistry of the battery may have failed. But if you charge it up again and then it starts working and is keeping the charge, chances are the battery will probably be okay. But you do your own research. As I say, never copy what you see in this video or any of my videos. But I'm going to leave this one in here because I think this is going to be, I think it's going to be okay. Obviously, if when it's charged up, it loses charge straight away, then a new one of these will need to be bought. But that's fine, you can buy them. Right, okay, I think we should probably put this back together. I'd love to know when it's going to jump up to a sensible amount of amps. Will it be when it gets to maybe like 2.5 volts or something? Be quite interesting to find out. It's really going up slower now. I'll tell you what, let's leave it apart for the time being. I just want to see. I'll come back every few minutes and I'll see when it gets to, you know, when it's going to start charging at, for example, like 0.2 or 0.3 off an amps. Because right now it's just, that's just like 20 to 30 milliamps. But again, it's charging correctly, isn't it? So this little chip here, or whatever chip is dealing with the charging, is doing its job properly. In fact, shall we zoom in and have a look at the chips? I think it might be conformal coating, actually, on it. Nah, it's all covered in gunk. Everything's covered in gunk. All right, well, I'll keep coming back to it, and then we'll see if it starts working.
45 minutes later.
Right, I just came in to measure and lights are on. but it's still not drawing anything here. Let's see what we are voltage-wise. Oh, lights have gone off now. No, back on again. Oh, it's charging. We're at 2.7 volts. We're at 2.7. Apologies. At 2.7, the lights are now showing that it's charging. But yet it's still not doing anything down here. There's no heat on the battery yet, so I think that's all good. Interesting.
60 minutes later.
Okay, 2.8 volts now, and it's still charging at a ridiculously low rate. It's climbing up and down like that because of the flashing lights, but it will still go up over time.
Lost track of time later.
Hallelujah! We've gone up to 0.2 off an amp. Brilliant. Oh, because I've got to get this I've got to get this edited out. This is part of the Advent special, you see. Whoa, 4.1 watts? That suddenly went up. Dearie me, 4.1. Hold on. I wasn't expecting that. So where are we now? 3.3. Let's just going to see what it settles at. So remember, this battery might not hold a charge. You know what? It's a bit unfair yet because it's very low. Let's get it up to the charged amount.
Board rigid later.
Right, let's see. I've just boiled the kettle. I'm just going to boil it again, and then I'm just going to hold this in here and see if it can. It's this bit here really that I'd like to be reformed because I think this will probably be okay. There we go. It's boiling water. Now let's see what's going to happen. I suppose the fact that it's been burnt means it's now taken on a new shape. Nah, still rock hard. That's not going to make any difference, unfortunately. Oh well, I'll have to glue it back on and then try to burn it back down again. Okay, amp draw is going down now. It's going between 50 to around 80 milliamps, 90 milliamps. Let's see. I'm going to unplug it. I just want to see what is charging at now. Is it still 4.1 volts? 4.2. Okay, let's unplug this. And I want to see if it stabilizes at all. In fact, we've got a light here now. It must be on, is it, maybe? Oh, it pumped. It pumped. Oh, it pumped again. Oh, it's because of this. Well, there you go. So it's working. I just want to see what the voltage is. So let's see if it's going to stabilize. Well, it's not dropping massively. In fact, it's going up, which is a bit odd, but it seems to be kind of stable around there. So we've still got some charge to go before it's fully charged, but I'm bored of waiting. You can see it's not dropping. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with this, but I kind of knew there wouldn't be. It's just for the video, I wanted to see the inside of it and also for myself as well. I'm going to try to melt all this back together, and I'm just going to take the risk that it's going to be working fine because I can hear the pump going off like crazy. How'd you turn it off? Is that it? Maybe. So I'm going to see if I can actually feel suction on this bottom bit. I can. Listen, listen. Hear that? So nothing there now. And now. Ready? Fantastic. Okay, let's try to get this back on. So that's not too bad. I'm going to super glue it. And then I'm going to try to... No, do you know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use this here. Solvent weld stuff. Now I'm going to put loads on. I really want to turn the thing off. Hopefully that will go off now. Yeah, there we go, we're off. Whoa, there's such a strong smell. I'm going to put loads on. And I better wipe the glue off that in case it eats through it. Now I think with this stuff it actually melts the plastic together. Right, and I am going to start getting the hot air on it and trying to melt it back into some sort of shape. I'm using pliers so I don't burn myself. Now sit back in awe and watch a master at work.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, they seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, your whiskey neat. The lights were dimmed as our eyes met, and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. Out of a sudden, you came through the door. At the next table, your whiskey neat. The lights were dimmed as our eyes met, and you saw me. And forevermore, I like to share that vintage dream. Yeah, forevermore, we're living in that vintage dream.
Well, let's see, are you going to dispense anything? Ready? So. It's going to take a while. Ah, look at that! Brilliant! Ooh, so that's what's left in the... probably shouldn't be rubbing this on my hands. Well, and I just want to see how you change the Ooh, strong. Just want to see how you change the dispenser mount. Right, turn on. Press touch area. LED 1 will be lighted for 2 seconds. And then to turn off, long press for 2 seconds. LED 1 and 4 will flash for 3 seconds. Oh, 1, 2, 4, that means. Fine. So we're now off. It's not working. So dispensing. So all I have to do is hit this and then go through the gears, I think. No, so I have to hold it on for longer. And now, can I go through the gears? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now 4th gear should be for 2 seconds. Let's see if that's going to work. Oh yeah, whoa, way too much. Yeah, way too long. Right, so turn it off. I think maybe the 0.8 of a seconds would be the best one. So on. I think I'm going to go to number 2 here. There we go. Now let's see what that's like. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that's probably... I don't know, actually. Maybe the 0.3 of a second's better. I'm just going to wash this off. I don't need any more of this. Now, this might bring back horror memories of the Amiga watch that I did, where I made a mess of the dial and then I put a tattoo on it to make it look better, but then took it off because I was annoyed by it. I think that I might get away with this. Look, I found one that looks nice. This one here. I think that if I was to do this one across the top here, I think that might hide the burning, and I might just get away with it then, because it's the edges that look really, really bad. Why not? I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to give it a go. See, apart from the My Mate Vince channel, where else would you see somebody putting a fake tattoo on a £10 soap dispenser? Nowhere, I hope. I pray nowhere else would you see that. Also, where else are you going to see anybody really trying to fix a £10 soap dispenser? But for me, see, I'll do anything for a tenner. If I can't get this to look respectable, I have to go out and buy one for my wife. So I will do whatever it takes to get this £10 soap dispenser looking presentable. Please work. That looks absolutely... Look at that. Yeah, okay. It looks maybe a little bit better than before, but it is what it is. Oh well, I got to see the inside of it and it is now working, which is good. Whether my wife would put up with that, don't know. I'll have to find out tomorrow because it's late here in the UK because this thing took so long to charge. Anyway, that is it for this video here. Another battery device, another one that's just completely and utterly flat. 100% you will be seeing more of them on the channel. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. But I still think it's nice to see the inside of it. And considering the price of these, because these are like well under 20 UK pounds, sometimes I think you can get them for just over 10. I think they seem to be okay, and they do seem to do the job. And it is now about 4 hours later. About 3:20 in the morning, desperately trying to get this edited up so I can stick to my schedule of a video every single day. I think I've put myself in for a whole heap of pain doing this. But anyway, the battery itself appears to be keeping charge for at least 4 hours anyway. So I think that this battery will probably be just fine. But obviously, time will tell.
The next day.
Right, another update. It's the next day now, and my wife's seen this and absolutely hated it because of the thing around the top, so I scraped it all off because, to be fair, it looks much better without it. And then I went to show her how it works, and nothing happened. I plugged it into charge, and look, it's at 20 or 30 milliamps again. The battery has drained yet again, and it was completely full. I charged it up last night until this went off. So clearly, it looks like the battery's lasting 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 hours and then going completely flat again. So this one needs a new battery. A lot of people did tell me that when they go completely flat, when you charge them up again, they won't keep a charge. So clearly the chemistry inside this battery has failed. I won't be leaving this charged up because I know it's not working. I'm just showing you that purely for the video. This battery is now unsafe. So if I got a new battery for it, I'm confident it would be fully working. Am I going to do that? No, and the reason is because the batteries are around about £5 UK, but I'd have to weld on the leads myself for that. If I want ones with leads on it, they're going to be £7 or £8 UK from eBay, and that would involve me still chopping the connector off this one here and soldering it onto the new one. I can buy one of these from China for £10 or from Amazon UK next day delivery for well under £20. So basically this item is unrepairable, not just because it's been glued or plastic welded shut, the price makes it unrepairable. Nobody's going to be attempting to fix something like this because they will just go out and buy a new one, because even the parts alone are a similar price to actually buying a new one, and that doesn't take into account your time at all. So obviously people that are addicted to fixing, yeah, they would be doing it, but what's that, 0.0001% of the population? So I fully get why they glued this shut or welded it shut, because nobody is going to be repairing a product that you can buy for £10. It'd be like repairing a pound shop product. You're not going to do that unless you find repair fascinating. So unfortunately, this one here has ended up being a failure, but we know what the failure is, and it's a battery. And in this instance, it's not worth fixing, but if you want it to, you could do. At least I showed you it working in the video. What a shame, but that is the problem with these lithium batteries. And going forward, there's going to be more and more problems with lithium batteries, isn't there? Because already we're seeing it happen more and more to more and more items are just failing because of the cells. It is a shame that they're not made with a little door that you can just fit your own lithium battery. But I suppose the problem is it's dangerous because you might be installing the wrong lithium battery in there. But it is a bit of a shame because all the products that we've had years ago can still be fixable by changing batteries. And now in the future, we're going into an era where more and more of this stuff is landfill because the batteries are non-replaceable. What can you do? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you tomorrow for the next Advent Day repair. Thanks for watching.